Previously on Chosen Ones, Estel spends the week explaining the history of the Fallen Ones. Brandy asks Mentor Libris about the cult Estel is rumored to have started, but didn't get much information out of her. The week ends with our four Sparks learning about Carmentis, Ambrose, and Vermona, three of the most infamous Fallen Ones. Their training continues this week with a different mentor.
Break me down, we keep fracturing, so you forget your place and never find grace. Fly me away before the clouds are paid, so we will lose our wings within the storm. Breathe me, take what's left of me. I lose my mind to fate, I cannot this race. Heart beating hard, erase your belief. I will destroy what's left and run away. Get with the two, harmony, the shadow in this sea. Come to the page, the curtains rising soon.
After those first 5 days of training under Estel, your cabin is woken up by Wind yet again. He has been waking you guys up every morning to go to breakfast and start your day, so this is pretty normal at this point. And he informs you all that you will be switching to your next set of training, one that requires all Sparks to be present, and all mentors will be there to observe as well.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, Shui's excited. He's not nervous. He should be, but he's not.
Yeah, Theo's just like, I wonder what this could possibly entail.
What kind of training is it?
We're doing combat training today.
Are we training with Master Peter?
Well, technically you're training with me, but Peter's gonna watch.
Shui's trying not to look so disappointed. He's watching?
You'll do your training with Peter later. Why are you so hung up on him?
He's gonna teach me how to use my sword.
That's up to him. Mentors pick. You guys don't pick who you train with individually.
He's gonna pick me, I feel it.
Oh yeah, he nods.
That was a sarcastic okay.
Can Theo pat Shui's arm and just be like, I think there's a good chance that he could pick you, but if he doesn't, then it was just your fate to train with someone else, and perhaps it's even better.
Shui kind of tilts his head as if he hadn't even considered not being picked by Peter. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, there are many talented people here. Perhaps if he doesn't pick you, someone else who is more suited to you will.
He's thinking, because he's like, Peter's more suited to me. But he nods. Well, I hope he picks me.
I'll hope for your sake too.
He shoulder bumps Theo, playfully.
Oh.
Well, if Peter chooses not to train you, I can train you. I'm quite good with the sword myself.
He tilts his head. He's like, do you have an elven sword, Yaya?
Nope.
She's like, okay. Yeah. I bet you're super good at sword fighting.
I've got quite the sword myself here. He grabs it out of the scabbard and he's like, this sword was passed down from the church for many generations. Jay the roleplayer didn't come up with what it's called.
It's big. It looks heavy.
It is quite heavy, but it packs quite a punch as well. Well, I can't wait to get started with combat training. I'm excited to see what everyone can do.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to show off some skills of my own.
I don't like how he said
That sounded sensual, Avayath.
Okay. Redoing the line then. I can't wait to show off some skills of my own as well. There we go.
Yep, the sensual one's making it in. Anyway.
Come now, everyone. Let me show you my skills. Starts taking off armor.
My skills with my sword.
I started to make that joke, Cassie, but I halted myself. Anyway, Theo looks very nervous, not quite uncomfortable, but kind of. He's scared of what is to come.
Leviath could not look more confident.
Shui just looks excited. He's not confident per se, he's just excited. Eager.
Brandy has a similar expression to Theo.
I see the party split.
Can they share a look of worry?
Like,
Yeah.
So you guys continue following Wynn towards the training grounds. It's a pretty big open field. You actually leave the interior of the compound to go there.
Brandy runs. Brandy fucking runs. He's out. He's done. I got out. I've done it. No, I'm just kidding. Go on. Sorry.
But you go to one of the mini forests nearby and pick up a semi-clear area. And when you get there after following Wynn, you can see that the other 3 mentors are already there, as well as Arthur, the other Sparks, and then a woman that you have not yet met, or not still a woman, but a furbolg. And she appears to be kind of standing off to the side.
Who's that?
That's our medic.
Ah, good to know.
We have Peter, but he's good, but he's not great. This is her job specifically.
Does Peter hear him when he says that?
He does not appear to make any movement. He's doing what he was doing a few days back, where he's like sitting on the edge of an overhanging ledge, like looking down on the clearing, not paying attention really to anyone.
What a little fucking edgelord.
So edgy.
What a fucking edgelord.
When Shui sees him, he waves very, very aggressively excited. He wants him to notice.
Roll a perception check.
Peter smiled once at him. It happened once.
This wasn't great. I got a 10.
A 10. You don't seem to notice if he looked at you or not. He seems to just be staring off into space. So Wynn kind of walks up onto this ledge that everyone appears to be on. And for the sake of time, you all follow. And
No, I don't.
And he leads you all up to the top of the ledge and looks around at the group and puts his hands on his hips and smiles very big at everyone. It's just like, all right, so we're going to be doing some combat training today. You will all be chosen by a mentor at the end of this 4-week introduction.
Vibrate.
Based on...
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
She says out loud. Vibrates!
Based on your individual classes, but this one in particular is important so we can determine who can help you all improve the fastest. So give it your all. We have Peter and our medic Angevin on standby if anything happens, so just let loose. Give it all you got, but don't kill each other, please. Thank you.
Wait, are we fighting each other?
Yeah, it'd be kind of unfair to fight the mentors. Some of us can hold back pretty well, but...
Looks at Peter.
I guess I just expected some sort of little, setup test thing. I don't, never mind.
Training dummy.
Yeah.
Well, we're all training dummies here. No, he doesn't say
Can he say that anyway?
Please, for the love of God.
Sure.
Make him say that.
Yay.
Everyone has to start somewhere. This is an experience for some of you. I'm sure you haven't done any sort of combat training before. Except for maybe the people who arrived with weapons. It's a lot of you. Anyway, so we're gonna start with, I think we picked our pairs yesterday. Arthur, what were they again? Arthur has this kind of book that he's been kind of writing ever since you guys pulled up. But he looks down at his notes for a moment and then glances back up at Wynn. And it's just like, I believe Draga and Riddle were going first. And Wynn nods. It's like, yep, okay, gotcha. And Draga goes down into this little clearing and Naruto runs down.
I'm so glad this is a character trait.
Anytime he's running, Naruto runs.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
So it's a pretty close match between the two of them. At one point, Draga has just been increasing the size of all these stones in the area, and it just seems like no matter how hard she is trying to get Riddle off of balance, he just does not fall over. Like, he always stays on his feet, and they continue to rush each other and run, and he's constantly trying to get close enough to her to attack. He's got a couple small daggers that he pulls out and throws at her a few times, but she does a pretty good job keeping up her defenses with these stones. But eventually he does kind of make his way over and just kind of, with the back end of the blade, just get her in the back of the neck, and she just goes, and falls over, not appearing to be super hurt, but hurt enough that she's lost concentration on using her spark, and is holding the back of her neck, like, and he's like, I'm sorry, you okay? And the medic, Angevin, comes up and leans down next to her and is just like, oh, wasn't much of anything. That doesn't look like it hurts much at all. And Draga's just like, it hurts a lot, shut up! And she leans down and appears to do quick cure wounds spell, which Theo would recognize. And Draga kind of goes off after that to the side, rubbing her neck, seeming kind of annoyed, but Riddle comes up to her, seeming to apologize, and she brightens up after a few moments and goes over towards him. So after that display, Arthur's still writing notes. You see Estill does not look super impressed by this. Libris does a little clap when they're done. And Peter just does not seem interested also at all. Same with Estill. He mutters something to her at one point, and she nods, and Wynn goes back into the middle of the clearing and looks up to everyone and smiles and says, alrighty, okay, I think I remember the next pairing. Shui, why don't you come on down?
Yes! He says, and he like hops in the air and then runs down.
Alright, and Essence, you're up.
Oh no.
I fucking
knew it.
I knew it.
Get all her anger out. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shui. I love you, Shui, so much. I just want to tell you before you die.
Paying very close attention to this fight. He is so concerned.
I hope she doesn't go too hard on him.
Beat her ass! No, I'm just kidding.
You see her, like, cracking her knuckles as she's walking down.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Shui.
Hi, Essence, he says.
How's it been going with your friends?
It's been going great.
That's good.
Yeah. He says, what about you?
Oh, things have been fine in our cabin. Very interesting.
She says, let's have a good fight, okay?
Yeah, let's have a good fight. And Wynn's standing in between you two and is just like, alright, so whenever you two are ready. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Murder her!
Drag her!
Her wig snatched.
22.
22? Alright, let me roll for her real fast. Alright, yeah, you go first.
Shui bounces on like the balls of his feet and kind of without, warning, he's gonna dash forward. And I mean, not like action dash, you know what I mean? But she is 50 feet away, so he'll move about here. As far as his action goes, he will take the dodge stance.
Dodge, you said? Gotcha. Okay, so she is looking at you and she smiles when she sees that you're taking the dodge action, and she pulls out a crossbow. She's gonna take a couple paces back and aims directly at you, and she goes, sorry about this, and she's gonna fire directly at you. Does an 11 hit you?
No.
Okay, so you see this arrow kind of go and fly towards you, and it goes right past you. And she's still smiling as she's looking at you. And you're going to take 4 damage as she's smiling at you, and this arrow goes right past you.
Where did he take the damage? Like his cheek?
It feels like your cheek, yeah. It feels like even though the arrow went wide, like it still hit you.
Okay, and he's just like, what the? How'd you do that? I thought I dodged it.
It's my spark. I don't miss.
Okay, bitch. Right. He's like, that's no fair.
Why don't you show me yours?
He can't, because it don't do nothing. Well, I guess sure. I mean, why not? He'll use his spark healing dagger to conjures up like a dagger of light, and he's gonna like press it up against his cheek where he was hurt, and he's gonna slash. I get temporary hit points. It's not like I don't get healed. So 7 temporary hit points as he like slashes himself across the cheek.
When you do so, it's like this very bright white blade that it almost looks like when you slash yourself across the cheek, like you leave a white residue behind that kind of closes up that wound that you just got.
He's going to use his movement to try to close in on Essence. And then that's his turn, because he can't do much else right now.
So she sees you get close to her, and her smile gets even bigger, and she's like, oh, getting closer, huh?
Can't give you another chance to shoot me.
Oh, I don't want to shoot you. She's gonna try and grab your sword.
Okay.
So roll a strength contest.
13 plus 9. 22.
22. Okay, so she reaches to grab your sword, and she grabs it, and the two of you appear to be in a stalemate, which her eyes kind of go open, like, wide and surprised at that, and she cocks her head at you, and she's like, you got a pretty good grip there.
It's all thanks to Master Dashi.
I see. And she's gonna try and kick you. 24.
That does definitely hit.
Alright, well, it's just a kick, so you're gonna take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, it's just a kick.
As she just rears back and just knees you right in your stomach. And she just goes, let go!
He's like, no! Can I cast Thunder Wave, Cassiroll?
Sure, go for it.
So as a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you, each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a con saving throw.
She got an 11.
That does not pass. So she's gonna take 2d8 thunder damage, and she's gonna be pushed 10 feet away from me. 11 thunder damage.
She looks like she takes that damage like a champ.
I believe it.
You hit her and her hair kind of frizzes up, but she does not look like that hurt her at all. In fact, she's smiling even wider now. I want you to make a strength saving throw as you push her back. She's still gripping onto your sword.
His saving throw for strength?
Yes.
Oh, and that's 16.
She is still gripping onto that sword, and as you push her back, she is holding onto the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
And the sword comes out.
Oh, interesting.
And she is smiling super brightly now as you see this sword that you have not seen since you were down in the Kraken lair. It is very bright red and has like a glowing energy kind of rippling off of it. And you can hear the sound of like some kind of creature roaring almost when she unsheaths it. And she's looking it up and down and she's like, huh, that's interesting.
Shui looks shocked, offended, because like she pulled it and he couldn't. And he's like, hey, get that back.
Those of you up on the ledge, you can see all of the mentors. Like, Peter is up on his feet instantly when he's looking down at this. Wynn looks confused, and she's kind of tossing this sword back and forth in her hand, and she's like, why? You can't use it anyway.
He said it's mine! But he's gonna try to like reach for it again.
So she moves, and she's gonna try and hit you with that sword. And she got a 17.
That hits.
So you get wiped right across the back of your neck at that as she makes contact. And when you are hit by this, you just hear it sounds like an eruption of thunder, like inside of your head as you're hit with this.
Ooh.
And there's almost like an indent in the ground as you feel like you were forced downwards from the pressure of the sword hitting you. You're kind of like holding yourself, trying to stay up, and you are going to take 32 damage.
Damn, that's my sword right there. I'm down.
32 force specifically. And you see Wynn going like, okay, I think that match is over. And Essence just kind of plunges the sword right next to Shui and looks over at him and smiles and is like, did I do a good job? And Angevin is just rushing over at this point. That was a little bit overkill, don't you think? And she's leaning down, and you will heal 16. So 16 from 0.
His eyes flutter awake. Or sword.
As you regain consciousness, actually, and she's let go of that sword, you just hear it go shing, and it's right back in your sheath.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was fun. She's like cracking her knuckles and stretching a bit.
He kind of cradles the sword then. And he looks at Essence.
She's smiling.
He's kind of like upset, or frustrated rather. I don't know, I guess both maybe. He has like frustrated tears in his eyes.
And you actually hear Arthur kind of clear his throat after that. It's just like, Essence, what was that? And she's looking up at him and smiling, and she's just like, what? Peter informed me that is an elven blade. And she's nodding. Mm-hmm. And you are not an elf? And she's nodding. Mm-hmm. Neither is Peter. I don't see what the problem is. He's like, Peter, you can see, is just very clearly like anxiously tapping on the scabbard of his sword right now.
Why'd you do that?
Why'd I do what?
He doesn't know how to put his thoughts into words.
I just wanted to look at it.
You could have asked.
She shrugs. We were doing combat. I couldn't ask right now.
And you don't even look bothered by it.
Bothered by what? The fact that I won? Why would I be bothered by that?
Ah! He says, like frustrated, like little growl. Like he's frustrated with himself.
Arthur speaks up again and is just like, he's coming down actually at this point and is moving closer towards you guys. How were you able to unsheath an elven sword that wasn't your own? I'm just curious. And Essence is looking at him and is just like, I have 2 sparks. And he is looking very confused. I see. Shui, why don't you go back up with the others?
He gets up and walks away. And his head is down because he's ashamed.
Oh.
And she doesn't seem to understand why this is such a big deal and is shrugging. And she's like, what? Peter has 2 sparks too. And Arthur's just like, why don't we have a talk later, Essence? She nods and she's like, okay, that's fine. I mean, maybe I just have a better chance if the previous chosen one, or one of the previous chosen ones had 2 sparks and I had 2. Maybe there's a correlation there. He just looks nervously sweating. Why don't we move on to the next pairing?
I'm sure he gets back up here. He's kind of like dejected. He's like, sorry I lost, guys.
Don't be sorry. You did really well.
It wasn't fair. You were going up against odds that were not easy to beat. It ain't your fault.
He kind of looks at his sword. He's like, if only I could draw my blade.
I'm sure you'll be able to do that soon.
Sad. Pow.
You get the hang of it.
Okay, well, why don't we move on to the next pairing then? Theo, why don't you make your way down?
Theo, like, instantly, he's, like, trying to comfort Shui, and then instantly is like, oh god. He kind of, like, looks over at Brandy, like, wish me luck.
Good luck, bud.
He'll make his way down.
As you're going down, though, make a quick perception check as you pass by the mentors.
24.
So Libris and Estel appear to be talking while, like, very frantically while Arthur is scribbling something in his book. Peter is just staring at Essence right now from the other side, like holding his sword very tightly and frowning. You see just like for a split second a moment of that like anger that you heard about yesterday like flash on his face for a moment before he just goes back to stoic.
Well, he's controlling his anger clearly, so that is what Theo thinks. Also, Theo's like, uh-oh, I wonder if Shui's preferred teacher is about to teach somebody else. That's what he's thinking. He's like, she steals Peter away from him. But yeah, so he goes down after making note of everyone's tenseness.
All right, and with that, why don't we get Titus? You're down.
I knew it.
Oh, fuck.
I knew it.
Titus looks nervous.
Brandy looks back at Avayath briefly. He's like, ah, shit.
Wait, why?
Because that means Brandy and Avayath are fighting.
Oh.
Because Draga and Whisper fought.
Yeah.
Or Riddle, sorry.
Whisper? Sorry.
Whatever.
I say Whisper. I say Hushed Riddle. I don't know why. Is that his name?
His full name is Hushed Riddle.
Oh. Okay.
But he goes by Riddle.
Okay.
So you see Titus kind of very slowly walk down, looks across the clearing sheepishly at you, gives you a small wave.
Theo also does, like, the same thing exactly.
They're just mirrors of each other.
Yeah, you're just like, oh boy, sorry about this.
One's a little bit bluer.
Yeah, we're the same character, but different color palette. Like, for, like, 1P, 2P, you know what I'm saying.
You got this. Brandy shouts from above.
Thanks.
You see Titus kind of give you a small smile and nod and just be like, this is just training, so it's nothing, it's just training.
Yeah, of course, yeah, just training.
And Wynn kind of puts his hands up and is like, on your mark, get set, don't kill each other, and roll initiative.
Okay. Theo gets advantage on initiative. Good, because he had an at one. 11.
11.
Yeah, it's better than an at one.
He got an unnatural 20.
Oh, wow.
He's fucking ready. You see him kind of take a fighting stance as he looks around nervously, and he is going to cast... He's just gonna Eldritch Blast, yeah? Alright, so first one to hit is a 22.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is a 18.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of leans back a little bit and puts his hands together, and as he like slowly pulls them apart, you see these like two very small concentrated amounts of water appear in his hands as he like focuses directly on you and fires both of them at you at the same time. And you are going to take fucking shit, dude. Oh my god. 22 force damage.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
And he looks surprised by that. He pulls back a little bit when he looks at you. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go that.
Hey!
I'm sorry.
Don't kill each other.
He's like, oh god, okay. Well, yep, just training, it's fine.
I'll just stay here. You can hit me now.
Okay.
God.
He takes out his longbow, and he has... Basically, I wanted to have him... Because he has extra attack, and I would just have him do longbow again, so I kind of wanted to do, like, 2 arrows at once.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, I wanted to be
That's
cool.
neat.
But yeah, do 14 and 18 hit.
Yes, both hit.
Okay, 13 altogether.
13, gotcha. You fire off those 2 arrows at him. I like the flavor of like they both individually scratch a different cheek, like they went right past both of his cheeks, and he kind of like goes pulls back and like grabs them as they are very clearly stinging, and he looks up at you with a tight smile and is just like, good job.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. I hit you.
Right. How big is this rock?
I'd say about the size of that square, so like 5 feet.
So, if Theo crouched, can he hide there?
You could consider that partial cover. I'll give you half cover from it if you go behind it.
Yeah, okay, he was gonna do that.
Well, Titus is gonna move to the other side so he can see you again.
So you see him put a hand out again, and you think maybe for a second he's going to hit you again, or try and hit you again with an Eldritch Blast. But instead, you see out of the corner of your eye this very, like, long spectral tentacle appear next to you. And it's going to try and hit you.
Instant fear.
Does a 14 hit you?
Counterspell.
It does.
Brandy, are you trying to counterspell?
Maybe.
I don't know when it's a trait like this.
Oh, well, if it's a trait, he can't do anything.
So yeah, it's still gonna hit you.
Yeah.
So as this tentacle comes down and hits you, you're going to take just 2 lightning damage as it kind of slaps into you, and you feel a jolt of electricity go through you as this tentacle still appears to be staying there. Kind of looks like it's coming out of the ground, like wiggling around.
And your speed is reduced by 10 until the start of his next turn, and that is the end of his turn.
He was gonna move over here, because that's his movement. And then he's like, well, if we're gonna keep going, like this, he'll use Pass Without a Trace.
Oh.
A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions, which is just me, from detection for the duration. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a plus 10 bonus to dexterity checks, stealth, and can't be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage. So, basically, I want the tree branches to veil him, pretty much.
You would have to take the search action.
Oh, take this. I haven't seen anyone use Pass Without Trace in combat before, so that's why I'm not positive how.
But if he's looking for something, you have to use search action if you lost track of him.
Okay, so search action to find him. Is that the end of his turn?
Yeah, it's a spell, so.
Alright, so he's gonna try and perceive you, and he got a 17. I would assume it's probably your spell DC.
No, it has to be a stealth check.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So, stealth. 18.
Just barely. Theo.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Yeah,
Close.
rolled a 4.
So he's trying to find you in this darkness, and he can't. So he's trying to locate you and does not seem to be able to find you. That is his turn then. He wastes his action.
Theo's gonna shoot him again then. 1. That's 19 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, and so it says when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, extra 1d8 damage if it's below hit point max. So is he below hit point max?
Yes.
And I can do this once per turn. 13.
13. Gotcha.
And then he's gonna hit again. 11. I don't think so.
No, that does not hit.
Okay, I'm glad I used it now then. Theo will move further in to the brush.
Okay, so you move further into the brush, and as you do, that first hit kind of got in like the side of his shoulder, going through a little bit of the clothing that he's wearing, and he's kind of grasping it, and you actually missed the second one because he moved to like pull that arrow out, and it's kind of holding his shoulder and looks to be in quite a bit of pain, and kind of holds up a hand to Wynn, like to signal like, I'm done, I want to stop. And Wynn's just like, oh, okay, gotcha, and whistles, and Angevin very quickly rushes over to Titus and starts to heal him, and he immediately looks better.
Nice. So Theo deactivates his pass without a trace. What?
Just the word choice.
Who was clapping?
It
Brandy.
was Brandy.
Oh.
and Shui.
And I
Aw.
assume Avayath.
That's great. Okay, so he comes out of the brush and he kind of is like, he's literally clearly bloodied, and he's like waving to Titus like, sorry.
No, that was a good show. Good job.
Thanks. You did really well too.
Thanks. And then Angevin, seeing your injuries, is like, holy, and she runs over.
Yeah, he's literally below half, so he was waving, and as she was doing that, and he was like apologizing, and he's like just casually going back without asking to be healed.
Wait, hold on, come back.
Huh?
You're hurt.
Oh, right.
And she'll heal you for 12.
Cool.
Sorry, would you like me to do it again?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure? You still don't look very well.
No, it's okay.
She gives you a timid smile.
He's like, I'm sure the next fight will require it as well, so I wouldn't want to take away from whoever needs it.
Sweats.
She nods at that and allows you to leave.
Yeah, he's still like, he was bloodied, and now he's not. He still looks hurt, though. He's like, well...
Brandy's just like, no shooting text.
Thanks.
Here. And he casts Healing Elixir, which is, he conjures like a small vial in his hand of like this red elixir and holds it over, hands it over to Theo.
Theo's surprised. He's like, I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool, Brandy.
Watching your own healing magic, I kind of picked it up.
Oh,
He smiles.
that's really special.
Yeah, give it a sip. It should help with the wounds a little bit.
Are you sure you don't want it?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay. He'll hold on to it in his hand for now.
Okay. It counts as a healing potion that lasts for 24 hours. So it does 2d4 plus 2 healing.
Okay, he's not drinking it yet.
Brandy looks concerned at him. Drink it.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
You need it.
well, I just thought, just in case, I would save it.
Alright. You keep it, but it's for you. Got it?
Okay.
You would note, Brandy, as you were coming back up, that Titus, like, very quickly was rushing back up to his group, and Essence seemed to be not super supportive. She seemed almost like she was scolding him as he came up for losing that.
Ugh. Gross.
And he kind of has his head down and is seems to be trying to laugh it off.
That was pretty good shooting, Titus.
He turns his head towards you on the other side and gives you a small smile and wave.
Theo gives 2 thumbs up.
Essence is just kind of arms crossed.
Brandy flips her off.
She cocks her head and smiles at you.
Yeah, oh, so creepy. Whatever.
Brandy. Theo, like, swats his hand down.
What? Fuck her.
Don't be rude.
Wynn speaks up from down in the clearing again and is like, okay, I think we have 2 more people today, so Brandy and Avayath, why don't you both come down?
Yeah.
Shui didn't realize. He's I wonder who's next.
Yeah, I don't know if I do the same thing.
He literally didn't make the connection that they were the only 2 left. And so he's looking between Brandy, Avayath, and he's like, oh.
Theo definitely kind of gives like a worried but encouraging look to Brandy, like, don't worry, you can do this.
You will see about that.
It's gonna be okay.
As they're walking down, Brandy is gonna lean over to Avayath and be like, are you gonna use your swords and shit in this fight? Just be honest with me real quick.
Well, of course, it would be dishonorable not to go all out.
Alright, then I'm gonna do that too then, if you don't mind. Is that alright?
Of course, go for it.
Alright. And this is the first time I think anybody's ever seen him do this, but he holds his hand to his side and you watch this sword just form in his hand and he grabs it.
Oh, you have a sword of your own.
Yeah, it's fancy. I got it not too long ago.
What does it look like?
It looks like a very old rusted blade that's like broken in half. It looks like it used to be a greatsword, but now it's his long sword because the blade is like broken halfway through.
Theo looks in interest.
You, Brandy, actually hear a very large sounding like thump or thud coming up from where the mentors are.
Looks over.
Peter has taken his sword, not out of the sheath, but just off of his side and placed it directly in front of him and is just planted in the ground, is just staring at you.
Well, looks at him like, what? Doesn't say anything, but like looks at him like, okay.
He's staring at you, and hold on one sec. He smiles at you. What?
That's unsettling. He feels unsettled by that, but he's not gonna say anything. He just kind of like gives a nod and looks to Avayath, and he's like, don't go easy on me, alright? I can take it.
Of course, I wasn't planning on it. I won't kill you, of course.
Gotcha.
You do see Estel kind of also next to him take note of that and like put a hand on Peter's shoulder and like whisper a couple things to him, and you see him like shake his head and then nod to her.
Avayath looks confused and is like, is something the matter?
To the mentors.
To the mentors and Brandy. He saw Brandy looking confused first.
I can get rid of it if you want.
Estel looks down at you and just says, no, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead if you want to use that.
Alright.
Sure you don't want to get a more recent sword?
This one will work fine, thanks.
I think it's cool, Brandy!
Thank you. It won't give you tetanus, I swear.
Well, it's as they say, it's the strength of the wielder that matters and not the strength of the sword.
That's well put. I'm worried about the strength of this wielder. Looking at Avayath.
Wynn holds up a hand and is just like, all right, guys, ready? 1, 2, 3, go! And roll initiative, both of you.
12. I have no dex.
7!
Avayath like can't see Wynn, so he's like, when do we go?
What? When?
So you get the first move, Brandy.
Brandy's gonna fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at Avayath. He holds his sword towards him, because he also has a shield out right now, too, because he's like, I'm worried. So he holds his sword, and he can cast through his sword because of a special thing. So he fires 2 Eldritch Blasts at Avayath. No, that won't hit. Fucking 11? Absolutely not.
Oh, no.
And a 10. Oh, I whiff them both. He fires them off, and he's like, ah, shit.
You have a really good modifier, though. Wow.
Yeah, a 3 and a 2. That's fucking rough. He fires them off, and he's like, ooh.
You'll get it next time.
I will note that those Eldritch Blasts that you fired off are actually, they look different from what you fired off earlier in the week. Instead of being like that glitchy look that it had before, it's almost pure black with like very dim sparkles of white mixed within.
That's new.
I see you're doing things differently this time. I'm glad you're not holding back.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up.
You can do it.
That's the end of his turn.
Let's see, what is the distance now? 60 feet. So he could try to get in melee range, or he could take the dodge action. Nah, he's better off running 60 feet, I think.
Are you gonna use your full movement?
That's horrifying. This fucking bulldozer flying towards him.
Literally, he just like charges straight for him with like the armor clanking on the ground as he like stomps in his direction.
Oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck.
I like to picture his wings like extending.
You guys how many of you have seen Big Hero 6? You know the scene where he's like evil and barreling, like he turns red and is like barreling down towards the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. God, Brandy looks horrified as he watches Avayath storm him.
And as soon as Avayath like gets up to him, he like pulls out his sword and shield, ready to strike. But Brandy has enough time to attack again.
He looks at Avayath like, "Oh, you're real close. Cool."
I like to fight up close and personal.
Yeah, no, I got you. All right, cool. He will try and make a swing at Avayath. He's going to use a spell slot to cast Blinding Smite on him. If it works, it'll be great, but we'll see. If I can fucking hit him.
His AC is really high.
I know, it's stupid high.
Do you see his stupid armor?
Yeah, his fucking giant-ass armor. Let me see. We'll see if I do good enough. Otherwise, I waste the spell slot, and that'll suck.
You can do it, Brandy.
18? I doubt that
No.
hits. Yeah,
Not
he
high enough.
swings and misses. As long as I can maintain concentration, it stays on, though. So yeah, he swings and misses, and he's like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
And now Avayath will start swinging his big-ass sword. First swing.
It's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, second swing.
It's a 22 to hit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Both of those hit.
Alright, and he will use Divine Smite on both hits.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
He said he's not holding back.
Theo like screams in his mouth. He's like,
Alright, so for the initial non-radiant damage, 8 plus 11.
Oh, fuck.
God.
And now for the radiant damage, which is going to be nasty.
What do you mean now for the radiant? Oh, those are the two swings. Okay, I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Gotcha,
Yeah, for
hold
the
on.
swings themselves, but
Let me mark the damage that you just fucking did.
the Divine Smite adds 3d8 to both of them.
How much to both of them?
3d8.
what?
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
3d8? Are you trying to one-shot him?
Destroy this man's whole career.
Yeah, because I use second level spell slots. 14 plus 20.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Well,
Theo's literally screaming in his mouth.
he's down for sure, but
You hear Wynn calling, wait, hold, stop!
as he's about to go down, I'm gonna use his fucking spark as a reaction.
Go for it.
You're gonna take all of that, Jay, plus 5 additional necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
Oh. What the fuck?
Holy shit.
As you watch Brandy go down, you see his eyes like fucking get covered in this like black ink as he goes down and like holds his hand out towards Avayath and just like you are just blasted with like black fire as he hits the fucking ground.
Oh.
Yep, that takes him down too.
Whoa, that's really cool.
They both go down! Oh my
Both of them collapse.
Can Theo just immediately hop in? I don't care if it's over
Go
or
for
not.
it, yeah.
I want to tumble down too.
And this is why I kept my healing potion.
That was so good! Fuck, I love that. That was amazing.
Theo immediately is just like giving Brandy the healing potion that he had given to him.
Angevin is leaning down next to Avayath and trying to heal him. You're up 12, Avayath. From 0 to 12.
Jesus. Okay, I'll roll the fucking healing potion. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh, thank god. Okay, I'm up to 8.
Okay, Theo's like patting his cheek. He's like, Brandy, are you okay? Are you okay? That looked really bad.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Oh, you weren't lying. Oh, you really weren't fucking around.
yep.
Oh shit.
You weren't either, apparently.
Oh. He like leans against the tree, like.
Theo's gonna use Cure Wounds.
Okay.
You hear clapping.
From who?
Peter.
Oh, interesting.
He's smiling at the both of you again and is clapping. And you see Estel kind of shoot him a look very fast and knock him on the shoulder again. And he immediately stops smiling and shakes his head again and glances at her. And she looks down to you, and specifically to you, Brandy, and says, I told you you had a spark.
Yeah, I guess so.
Brandy, what was that?
I don't fucking know. I've been able to do it for a while. I didn't realize it was a spark. I heard of other tieflings that could do it.
He's like, you went like boom, and then it went like and then the bike went like boom.
Yeah, you were really cool, Brandy. Also here, let me, and he heals him for 17.
Thanks. Nah, Avayath, you fucking beat my ass. Holy shit.
Did I make that noise?
You are definitely fucking chosen one material. Holy shit. Hold on, I need to catch my fucking breath.
You did the same to me. That was impressive.
Yeah, and he like pats Theo. He's like, thank you.
Theo's just kind of patting his arm.
Roll a perception check, Theo.
Oh, okay. 21.
Okay. For just a split second while you're close to Brandy after healing him and he's like leaning against this tree, it doesn't even seem like he notices it. But for just a second, it looks like those marks on his tail just light up and then go back down.
Theo notes it. He's going to actually... Can you do an Arcana check? On the tattoos?
If you would so desire.
I would so desire. 11.
You don't know. You've never seen anything like those before. You just thought they were decoration.
Yeah, Theo is gonna ask then if he can't discern it. He's like, oh, Brandy, your tail. The markings, they lit up.
Looks horrified when you say that and looks to his tail.
What? Is it bad?
No, they haven't done that, you know. It's fine. I just didn't realize.
You didn't finish that thought. They haven't done it in a while?
You hear Wynn clap his hands. All right, everyone. That was a great training. That was, wow. That was a lot. That was a lot of things that just happened, everyone. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do our preliminary voting, just so you have a basic idea of what we're all feeling, I guess, for who's interested in you. You have another 2 weeks if there's anyone you're favoring to change their mind, but just to give you a heads up. So Wynn kind of walks up and joins the other mentors up on the ledge here.
Wynn says that, and Shui is brought back to reality. Like, you know, he saw their fight, and he was kind of taken out of it. But now he's brought back into reality. Like, oh shit, I just lost in front of Peter. And now he gulps really, really audibly. And he looks really, like, worried.
Anjvin, after looking at you all over, is just like, do you all feel like you can walk, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
She was like, I'll be okay. And he tries to walk, and he's, like, toppling. Like, oh, fuck. Ah! He's not gonna pick me! Like that. Yeah, I'll be fine. Tumble.
So are you sure you're okay, Brandy? I mean...
Yeah, I'm fine.
So she just goes, well, if you need any further assistance, my medical cabin is always open to you.
So as Shui's, like, walking past, he's, like, not making any eye contact with Peter.
He's embarrassed.
He's really embarrassed. He's really red right now.
Can Theo ask just one more thing?
Go for it.
And he's like, what did the glowing usually mean?
It's a good question. I'm still kind of learning that myself.
We can look into it if you want. There was a lot of books here, so we can look into it.
Yeah, maybe. There's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it too much.
Theo nods, but he's clearly
He
worried.
worries about it. Yeah.
So Wynn looks towards the group with a big smile, and as you guys look towards the mentors, all of them are staring at Brandy right now, except for Peter, who now currently is resting his hands on his sword, head down, not looking at any of you.
Brandy looks away from all of them like, looks down at the ground too.
Shui too.
So Wynn's just like, all right, so we're just gonna do a, like I said, general call. I know some of you have people in mind that you'd like to train with. He looks directly at Shui.
Calm down.
Just leaving it alone.
In front of everyone.
He's very vocal about it too, so.
And he's just like, so this is just a general idea of what we're feeling right now, and if you have someone that you would prefer, then just make an impression during your training the rest of these 4 weeks. So he's like, all right, let's start with Riddle. And he looks towards everyone else. And Arthur's just like, I'll take over from here, Wynn. This is leader business. Thank you for taking the vocal role for the most of today. And Wynn's like, oh yeah, sure. And kind of steps back a little bit. And Arthur steps forward and is just like, all right, so we'll start with Riddle. If you would like to train Riddle, please raise your hand. And you see Wynn's hand go straight up. And that's it. And he nods at that, and he's like, and Riddle seems disappointed after he just won his fight that he only has one mentor interested in him. And then Arthur's just like, all right, if there's anyone interested in Draga, please raise your hand. And you see Wynn and Arthur both put their hands up. But then Arthur looks at his hand and is like, oh, never mind. He puts his hand back down. He's not a mentor.
God.
And Draga looks pleased, and then Libris looks at Wynn and looks at Draga, and she smiles and she also raises her hand. And Draga's just like, and is clapping her stones together.
Aw, I raised my hand for Draga too.
She waves at you with one of her stones. Essence is smiling at all 4 of the mentors, and none of them raise their hand.
Yeah, I figured.
And she frowns very deeply at that. And Arthur speaks up and is just like, if you have no one interested in training you by the end of these 4 weeks, then I will do independent studies with you. And she looks very disappointed at that. And then he's just like, all right, and Titus, would anyone who's interested in Titus please raise their hands? Wynn raises his hand, and also Estel raises her hand for Titus. And then Arthur looks over at the 4 of you and glances at Theo and is like, if anyone has interest in Theo, please raise your hand. Wynn's hand immediately shoots up, followed by Libris, they're both smiling at you.
Theo is surprised, but is he's flattered. He gives a little smile.
Brandy pats Theo's back.
He kind of looks relieved as well, so he gives a smile at Brandy as well.
And then moves to Shui, and all 4 mentors look at Shui, and Arthur's like, if anyone would like to train Shui, please raise your hand. You see Wynn and Libris' hands both go up, and that's it.
Shui looks heartbroken.
Crushed.
Literally crushed.
Peter has not raised his hand and is not looking at anyone in the group. He's still kind of hands rested, pushing this blade into the ground, hair kind of covering his eyes a bit as he's not looking at anyone.
He doesn't want to meet Shui's eyes because Shui's about to fucking cry. No, he's just gonna sit on the ground because he legit hadn't considered not being picked, But he still has time to but he's just gonna kind of sit down.
Brandy pats bats fucking Shui on the back too.
And then they move on to Avayath, and Arthur's like, if anyone would like to train Avayath, please raise your hand. Wynn raises his hand, Libris raises her hand, and then very slowly Peter raises his hand.
Fuck.
Traitor! Shui kills Avayath.
And there is a pause, and Arthur kind of looks at all of the mentors and clears his throat a bit and is frowning a bit, and then looks towards Brandy and says, and if anyone would like to train Brandy, please. And then before he can even finish his sentence, all 4 of the mentors' hands go up.
Oh.
Oh, look at that, you're popular, Brandy.
And Peter looks up for the first time and is kind of glancing over his shoulder at you, Brandy.
Looks at all of them, very confused.
Shui's like, lucky you.
Aww.
God.
Arthur kind of looks around at everyone at that and is just like, well, you have an idea of who is interested in you at this point. So, proceed with the rest of your training with that in mind. You'll be doing check-ins with me at the end of the 4 weeks. This is the end of the first.
Shui stands up dejectedly and kind of shoulder slump. He's like, okay. I guess we're going back to their cabins now?
Yes. Arthur speaks up and is like, you are free to return to your cabins for today. We will continue with Wynn's training later. It will just be with Wynn the rest of the week. And Wynn's like, yeah!
Yeah, Avayath will say, everyone did a great job. Good job, everyone. You all fought well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You all did well as well.
You see Essence kind of like shove her hair over her shoulders, just like, whatever, as she starts to walk away.
Whatever. Ugh.
I don't get what her problem is. He says that quietly so that she doesn't hear that.
She didn't get any fucking votes. That's a problem.
You know, her feelings just got hurt, Avayath. You know.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Oh, yes, feelings. I forgot what those were.
I forgot that she didn't get any votes. I'm like, oh yeah.
Is that what I felt for a moment when I died? No.
The first time I felt fear in my life.
No, I think they voted for Brandy because he fucking downed Avayath.
Yeah, they were like, oh shit, what the fuck?
I mean, Avayath like beat the shit out of him too.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just Brandy's power is crazier.
But they really didn't think.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, the way that Wynn phrased it at the beginning is that mentors pick you based on if they think they have something to teach you. So it's not necessarily favoritism as in, wow, you're great and I want to teach you. It's, we think we have something to contribute and to add to what you're doing.
Oh, that makes sense too, yeah.
Aw, Peter already believes in Shui. Aw. He has nothing to teach him, so he's like,
Sure,
Hey, you could take it that way.
look. Theo will say that to Shui. I want Theo to say it to Shui.
Yeah, I would like that. That'll be good because Shui's not making that connection.
Okay, so Theo will, as they're walking back, he's like, if you recall, earlier, the voting process was if they thought they had something to teach you, so if Peter didn't, sort of vote for teaching you, it's probably because, he has nothing that he thinks he could teach you, like, you're already doing well.
Yeah, right.
I mean, look at me. I lost, and they're all like, oh, look at this fucking idiot. He needs to learn all that he can.
Brandy, I don't think that's the case either.
No, you did fucking great out there for what you did. Like, she was pulling some bullshit that you couldn't have fucking planned for, but I wouldn't put it past yourself that you are doing a lot better than you think you are.
But I can't even draw my sword. In essence, she drew it.
Well, she had a spark that helped her do it. That ain't something you can control. That's cheating. You'll do it right. That ain't right.
He kind of kicks a stone. I hear Draga in the distance going like, no! No, but
She kills you.
Or she's just like, yes!
And then it enlarges.
Show it who's boss! No, okay, sorry.
yeah, he kind of kicks a stone and is just like, Spark is stupid.
What was it again?
He demonstrates. He forms like this dagger of light in his hand and kind of tosses it to Theo.
He goes to catch it haphazardly.
If you cut yourself with it, you just, I don't know, you feel better.
Oh, well, see, that's not stupid. That's very useful.
Yeah, I definitely prefer that over, like... Yeah, I think that's a real good ability.
Yeah, mine's conditional. Really, it's only if I...
Yeah, same.
Really, it's only if I, like, ingest some sort of poisonous, substance or get bitten by something venomous, so... You know, yours is... You can use it anytime. It can be useful anytime.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I gotta get my fucking ass beat to use my ability. That's fucking miles better than what you got.
Speaking of, how are you doing now?
Yeah, yours is way better than what I got. I'm doing shit. No, I'm doing fine. Actually, I'm above half health. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm alright.
As you guys are kind of wandering back towards your place, at a certain point you and the mentors kind of divide. But as you guys are dividing, you hear something for a split moment in your head, Brandy.
Oh.
That was different from what I was expecting. And that's it.
What?
He like fucking stops in his place and looks around like,
Y'all hear that?
What? Something wrong?
I thought I heard something.
Heard what?
I heard someone talking.
Oh, Theo looks around to see if anybody's around.
Yeah, he continues to look around.
Both of you cannot determine where that was coming from. Well, Theo doesn't notice anything weird. Brandy can't locate, yeah.
And he shrugs up at Brandy. He's like, I don't see anyone around. I'm sure it was just the wind.
I'm probably just hearing things. Let's get back to the cabin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking take a rest.
Shui, do you mind if I use this?
Go ahead, he says.
Thank you. And he will use it. I don't know how he'll use it.
I'll say, like, you grab both of the sides of it and kind of aren't sure for a moment and just kind of, like, slowly start to push it towards your body just to see what happens. And when it starts to look like it's going to go into you, it kind of just starts to scatter into, like a little tiny explosion of light, and you just instantly absorb that.
You get 1d8 temporary hit points. That's all it is. If the target is a celestial, they get 1d12 temporary hit points. If it's undead, it takes damage instead of getting hit points.
4 temps.
So it's just temporary.
Okay.
It's like, I'm gonna make you feel a little bit better
All
for a little
things
bit.
are temporary.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, Theo's learning what Shui's sparking, so.
And then I have another ability, but that one's also stupid.
I'm sure it's not stupid. What is it?
So I don't know how to describe what it does. It says you invoke a minor protective force to ward away harm. You gain a +1 bonus to AC. And it's called Spectral Shield.
It's, when you summon it, it's like these... It has that same, like, white glow that your dagger has, except it comes up, essentially, and starts to form as your dagger, but then it spreads out almost like an umbrella.
Oh.
Okay, I just have to say, adorable visual of Shui just, like, taking out this quote-unquote light umbrella. Like, if you just think about just that and not what it actually is, like, if he's just holding a light umbrella, that's kind of really cute.
He says, this is my other ability. It just makes me feel a little bit harder to hit. It's like a shield.
See, that is special as well. Wouldn't you say, Avayath?
Yes, I do think so. And I think with more training, you could learn to master these things and they could become very powerful.
You're just like, see, I do need more training.
Everyone needs more training. No one starts out strong. You'll get there.
Exactly. And look at Avayath. He's the one saying that, of course you should believe it.
He looks at Yaya.
I trained for many years before I got to where I am now. It takes work.
If it's coming from Avayath, then he will believe it. But in Zen's head, Zen was like, Avayath is belittling him.
Avayath thinks he worked hard, but he was actually just born strong. Like, it's kind of bullshit.
Avayath is like, maybe if you work as hard as me, and he's like punching his parents out of the womb. Like...
Literally, like, a spark activated when he was like a baby. Like, he's he was just born strong.
But yeah, Shui does kind of cheer up a bit, thanks to the combined efforts of the party.
During that time, I would have said you guys probably took a break during, like, halfway through those fights to, like, eat lunch, and now it's, like, dinner. It's, like, post-dinner. You see people kind of grabbing things from the tables to, like, take back to their cabin, essentially. Everyone seems tired.
Okay. Theo looks at Shui. What, going to snack?
She perks up to mention the food. And he's like, yeah, I could use one.
Theo nods. He's like, that should cheer you up. And yeah, he'll go get a snack too.
The Avayath and Brandy come, or are they just there together? Just the two of them.
Avayath would come, but he's not as, like, hyped up for food as he usually is. He's a little bit woozy.
It's because he lost. Aww.
It's not because his feelings are hurt. No, it's because he's like, yeah, he got the shit beat out of him. He's hurt. He was healed, but compared to his total health, it's not that much.
Oh. That is actually kind of funny.
Would that have counted as a short rest walking back, Cassie?
We can count that, yeah. It is a long walk.
Okay, in that case, I can get up to 5d10. Use the rest of my dice.
I will also say Brandy will offer one of the healing elixirs to Avayath.
Oh, that's only 11 HP? Yeah, he's gonna need that.
Yeah, he offers it to you.
He's like, here, this could help you out.
Oh, thank you. It's not necessary.
Wow, you rolled garbage on that, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real bad. Yeah, no, but he's like,
Well, I can make these things pretty easy. It ain't a big thing.
Well, okay, if you insist. He doesn't retaliate that much because he's like, I actually really need this.
I need this right now.
So how much does it heal?
I'm so thirsty.
2d4 plus 2. It's like a regular healing potion.
8 more.
Alright, and then you guys proceed to go to your cabin after a very long day of fighting.
I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. The show starts without stars. I'm here crying out for you, so you'll find me at last and wipe away our past. Even now, falling towards something beyond this new script. This show starts without